Commissioner, aside from the regular PBA games, what other events or sidelights that will transpire in the Philippine Cup?
Ah, yun nga, babalik natin ang All-Stars, James, out-of-town games, out of the country, kung papahintulutin tayo. At yung mga dati natin ginagawa na home court, na pumupunta tayo sa barangay, yung pumunta tayo sa mga eskwelahan ng mga players, ipagpapatuloy natin yon na hindi natin nagawa for the last 2 years.
Commissioner, I noticed na lahat na out-of-town games ay sa Inares lalawin. Why not put up provincial games in other places so that will give PBA fans a chance to watch their favorite PBA players?
James, yun nga ibig ko sabihin sa out-of-town games.
Yes.
Sa Visayas, sa Mindanao. Kasi hindi namin kinukonsider ang Inares na out-of-town. Regular na kasama natin sa ating mga rotation ng mga paglalaro. Out-of-town games, meron 9 nakapila. Pero palagi ko hindi namin mapapagbigyan lahat yon kasi sa third conference lang namin. Siguro mga 2 o 3 out-of-town games lang.
Do you foresee another possible scenario between a title confrontation between the teams of Mr. Ramon Ang and Mr. Manny B. Pangilinan?
Actually, hindi naman, we're not looking, we're not rivals. Nagkataon lang sa Meralco, 4 na beses namin nakalaban. And we're just very lucky that we won. Pero kung sino man, actually dati ganun MVP laban sa San Miguel, that was like 5, 6 years ago. But now, we're all okay. As long as PBA is open, meron ng mga fans, kahit sino maglaban-laban, masaya na kami lahat.
Barangay Ginebra is considered as the most popular games coached by Team Con. Considered also the Dean of Filipino coaches because of his long resume of success in the PBA. Kaya ba ulit mag-champion ni Team Con at Barangay Ginebra?
Like what Tim said before, when he arrived sa Ginebra, he said, we're not gonna win one only. At ngayon ata nakaka-6 na siya sa Ginebra. So sana magtuloy-tuloy yung plano niya. And he's a hard worker. Players believe in him. So we're expecting him to win more championships. Sana magtuloy-tuloy lang.
Maraming salamat, Francis. Well, isa itong tanong kasi sa NLEX lang.
Thank you.
Napupuna ko kasi wala si KP Rabina. What happened to KP Rabina? Bakit hindi siya naglaro sa NLEX ngayon?
Si Kiefer po naglaro sa Gilas. Now gusto niyang maglaro ulit but wala pang agreement. Nag-uusap pa ang two sides, si Kiefer and his agent and NLEX.
Ilang years ang binigay kay Rabina para maglaro sa Japan?
As far as we know, tapos na po yung kontrata niya sa Japan.
Wala bang sanction kay Rabina just in case hindi siya makapaglaro ng lumampas siya ng mahigit 1 taon?
Wala pa po. Pinapag-usapan pa kung maglalaro siya if he reach an agreement. So wala pang pinag-uusapan po na gano'n.
Ayan. Maraming salamat, James, for all your questions. Thank you. Chairman, how special was it when you were reaffirmed as PBA chairman for the 5th consecutive term? Of all of your corporate positions that have been very prestigious, how special was this reappointment for a 5th consecutive term?
Idadagdag ko lang yung sasagot ni Commissioner. Alam mo, isang malaking bagay na probably nagagawin namin ngayon is we will make 3-on-3 nationwide. Yung pangarap na maging 5-on-5 nationwide all over the country. Ngayon, 3-on-3 is probably the easiest to implement that will go nationwide. No? So doon mo makikita that we will be getting in every city, in every barangay, there will be tournaments. So we're trying to work on that. It's a dream that we want to achieve. Naku, maraming salamat sa members ng board at hanggang ngayon may tiwala sila. Pumuti na nga yung book ko Dati itim yan eh. Ngayon na pumuti na nagpatotoo na ako na that's I have white hair. But this is probably the most enjoyable group that I've ever worked with, no? In all my experiences. So mahirap i-give up even if I end up just a member of the board. It's become a group that has that feeds on each other, meaning it helps each other. So especially during the trying times during the pandemic, we were together. Hindi naman nagbitawan eh. So we would always see each other in Zoom meetings. And the first time we got together on face-to-face, it was a happy occasion. No? So this is probably the best board that I have been part of. So I thank that for everybody. Salamat. Ano pa? We look forward to a complete PBA season. Three conferences na tayo. Complete PBA season this year. And we were happy to see all of you here. 2020 ata yung huling nagkita-kita tayo dito, no? Ngayon nakikita namin kayo and that is very encouraging for us. Of course, yung PBA has not been without problems, no? And including this season, we have not been without problems. We're still dealing with problems because the PBA has been, we opened up, as you know, the PBA rules, no, to bring in more field foreigners, to allow more field foreigners, and to allow more players to come in. But we have also been the favorite hunting ground for unregistered agents who does nothing but do. Parang sila na sa parang sila na sa forest. They just hunt, and it has been detrimental to the PBA. As you know, it's very hard to compete with other groups, especially outside the country, because their what do you call their currencies are much more valuable than our currencies. But so far we've managed to stay whole, and we've managed to stay together, and that is very important. I wish that some of our players begin to think that this is their home. This is their home where they can build. This is their home where they can stay. And this is the home that we will welcome them back. And more, as the experience of some players going overseas, are staying there for 2-3 years, they're beginning to rethink their position. Pero ayaw talaga tayong tigilan kasi we are a talent base, not only for the region, but also in the greater Southeast Asian region, no? like Australia and other areas. Ayaw tayo tigilan that there is a lot of poaching. And some of this poaching has been very, very unprofessional. And this is what we're trying to fight against. This is the principle of the PBA. We're trying to fight against these unprofessional poachers who have nothing in mind but to get fees from these players. That's why it is very important that we said we will only deal with accredited agents. Otherwise, we will not be able to protect the athlete or the players. So we will go very headstrong against those who only intention is to poach from the PBA and who are mercenaries and gain compensation because they're going to be in the PBA. So yun ang pinakamalaking challenge namin, and kailangan din namin ng tulong ninyo dyan. So we also need the help of legitimate agents to stand up and say that this cannot happen. And you know, if you're not a legitimate agent, you also don't pay taxes. And you can be the most unreasonable agent just to destroy the PBA. Hindi na siya competition eh. It is already destroying the institution that we have built over the years. Now, having said that, ano bang ginagawa ng PBA? No, we will still seek permission from RSA. We have asked Al Francis to head up and represent us in the EASL. No, in the EASL board, Japan League is there, Korean League is there, China League is there, and it is an appropriate place for us to be able to work with them and get agreements between them. I understand that we are already in the thick of, the board has already reviewed, we are in the thick of conversation with the Japanese League, and soon, hopefully, we will be able to have a handshake on what are the rules of the game and how we should respect each other's league. So, yun lang. We are also improving the relationships with players. We have a very strong player relationship head, and that is our commissioner itself. No, I think he has the ear of the players, and he can talk to the players. So we'd like to strengthen that so as well. Lately, under the sponsorship of the vice chairman, he also talked about improving wellness and insurances for our basketball players. So we will become better. We will have a full season, and with God's grace, we survived the pandemic. We survived with one conference. We survived with two conferences. We will succeed with 3 conferences. That's it, Chairman.
Thank you very much, Chairman.
Good afternoon po. Michael Logado po from Malaya. This question is for Commissioner Willie Marshall po. May changes po ba sa health protocols or may babaguhin po ba with the situation ngayon na parang na tayo, pinakamaluwag na po?
As of now, nasa alert 1 pa rin tayo. So susundin pa din natin mga protocols. Pag may games, yung mga teams na maglalaro, mag-antigen. Sa opening, lahat po mag-antigen kasi baka magtanggal kami ng mask para makita nyo. As of now, yung pa lang. Dahan-dahan namin nakikipagtulungan po kami sa IATF at sa ating medical experts kung pwede nang dahan-dahan tanggalin na yung antigen. Pero as of now, antigen every game day, ang mga teams, ang staff, ang mga referees, ganun din. Ang media staff every once a week, ang antigen, tapos sa opening, lahat po ay mag-antigen.
Okay, thank you for the question.
Good afternoon po. Ruben Terrado from Spin. Question ko po yung sa mga, napansin ko po kasi sa mga rosters, meron po mga players na nandun at meron wala. So, nasagot na po yung kay Kiefer. Ang question ko po is sa 2 players, si Matthew Wright and Mark Kagiwa po. Ano pong status nila? Kasi si Mark Kagiwa wala po sa roster. Tapos si Matthew Wright po nasa roster ng Phoenix.
Ang sasagot yung 2 governor. Okay, kay Matthew Wright, si Governor.
Thank you. Matthew Wright is in the roster. He will be playing. He has a live contract and he will honor that commitment to play for us. So we don't see any problem with Matt playing for the Super LPG Fuel Masters.
Thank you, Attorney. Gov-Al, tungkol po kay Mark Kagiwa.
Si Mark Kagiwa, ako muna papalit. Hindi. Magkasing edad kami. Hindi. Si Mark Kagiwa, wala muna siya sa roster dahil he needs to fix something. You know, alam mo naman si Mark, napakabait na tao niyan. Kaya kami, anytime gusto niya bumalik to play or to be a coaching staff, wini-welcome namin siya kung kailan niya gusto, kung anong oras niya gusto, kung anong buwan, kung anong taon niya. Very welcome siya sa Ginebra anytime.
Thank
So,
you.
Gob, he will play ba this season? Ano pong ano yun?
Brother, wala pa, no? For sure, this conference, hindi muna. Aalis siya by, I think, Wednesday or Thursday. May ayusin lang. And then, nakita nyo, kahit wala siya sa roster nung nakaraan, nakikita nyo sa likod ng bench tumutulong. Dahil mahal na mahal niyang Ginebra. To tell you frankly, when we won a championship last conference sa dugout, after nung dugout, nagkabasaan, everybody went to Diamond Hotel. Doon kami nag-celebrate. Mark didn't show up. After nung basaan, umuwi. bago umuwi, umiyak lang si Mark. Kasi parang yung feeling na gano'n na for the longest, for 20 years, nararamdaman niya yung gano'n. Alam mo si Mark, is a type of person na hindi pag nag-retire, gusto niya ganito, gusto ilagay na. Very simple guy. Sinasabi ko sa kanya, actually, my plan was, kung isasabit namin yung jersey niya, lalabas siya, ipapakita yung uniform niya. Tapos ang sabi ko sa kanya, pumasok ka sa dugout, paglabas mo, nakatay ka na. So parang he's part of the coaching staff. Tatawa-tawa lang. Sabi niya, next time na coach, next time. So, I know a lot of fans will miss Mark, but he's going to be part of the family of Ginebra. Hindi mo mawala si Mark, dahil ayusin lang tapos babalik sa atin. Thank you.
Thank you,
Follow-up question po, with Ginebra naman, ano na pong status ni Stanley Pringle? Maglalaro na po ba siya? And Japet Aguilar also, ano pong...
Yeah,
kumusta na po
actually, yung interview ko kanina, I'm telling them I'm very excited for the all Filipino because Stanley is 100%. Japet is playing also. Aljon Mariano is playing. So nung nawala yung tatlong yon, meron kaming na-develop na mga players sa loob ng court na tumaas ang kumpiyansa at na-develop. So yung tatlong yun nung nawala, lahat thinking that we're gonna be weak, pero nag-gain kami kasi tumaas yung kumpiyansa ng mga players. May nabigyan kami tsansa ng mga players na lumaro na mas maganda. So by joining the team, yung tatlong nawala, I guess mas maganda para sa amin, dumami yung weapon namin.
Next question, please.
Hi, good afternoon po. Camille Naredo from ABS-CBN News. I think this is to Attorney Raymond siguro or any member of the board. The last time po na nagka-press conference, there was a discussion about changing the UPC. We'd just like to ask po for an update on those talks.
Good afternoon. It's nice to be back. Regarding the UPC, changes in the UPC. This was as a result of the study group's recommendations to the board, which eventually was approved, and a part of that recommendation was improving the UPC. First, we have while the PBA has always been a party, we recognize that the PBA has always been a party to the UPCs before. This time, we decided to strengthen further the participation of the PBA by making it a signatory to the UPC. That's first. Then second, we have also recommended, and I think that should be out by this time, a handbook, a player's handbook, for all the players to be aware of the policies, the rules of the PBA. As a matter of fact, even if for the draftees, in their application forms, there's a provision that says that they will abide by the rules and regulations of the PBA. So this is part of this strengthening the bond, the agreement, between the player, the team, and the PBA, so that they will be aware of all the rules of the PBA. So that's first. That's why we strengthened the PBA. Now, I think when we made the recommendations, I was asked earlier by Kini to hear, about some changes in that the study group recommended to the board, and it was really we wanted to strike a balance, really, in coming up with rules that would also protect the players and the teams together, not without favoring necessarily one party or the other. Let's take the case of the draft changes. We recognize, the competition from other leagues, commercial leagues, regional leagues. We are always guided by the principle that this is a free market society. But then, we also have to protect the interest of the league without really, with not looking at punitive measures, you know. As a matter of fact, we look at it positively by incentivizing draftees who apply for, to play for the PBA, no, by incentivizing these draftees. As a matter of fact, there is enough incentive, for the top 3 players, which we believe would always be the target of commercial leagues, from the region, and instead of playing for the PBA. We have provided those incentives. Now, in these changes, we were always mindful, okay, that the players will always have a free choice, okay? It's like when we apply for a job after graduation. The opportunities are there before us, you know? There are several companies that we've applied for. They have different incentives, and we make a choice. But then there are also consequences if we make a choice. No, these opportunities may not be there in the future. So that is the choice that, let's say, the player will have to make. Okay, so, and that is also at the same time protecting the interest of the PBA without being restrictive. No, but I've talked also to some players who came from Japan, and there's really fun. It's always good to play at home. Here, they feel so comfortable, and it's not easy to play in a foreign country. So we believe that these players, okay, well, they have opportunities to play abroad. Eventually, they will come back, and they will always be welcome in the PBA. So they're always free to make a choice, but they can always play in the PBA again after some time. So I hope I'm able to answer the question properly about the UPC.
Question po for Chairman Ricky, Denison po of the Inquirer. Chairman, just curious, what was siguro yung priority for this coming season, especially 2 years removed tayo from the normal pace of things, 3 conference format. Now we're having that for the first time in 2 years. What was the PBA leadership's primary thrust, kumbaga, priority when mounting this 47th season po?
The biggest priority is to get back to normal. And the only way we will get back to normal is to have 3 conferences. So balik tayo doon sa pinanggalingan natin. And we are determined to have 3 conferences. The board is determined to have 3 conferences this season, in spite of the fact that we are also allotting time for our national team. Okay, so that's a challenge, and the calendar is fixed, and we will have 3 conferences, barring another pandemic. I hope not. As says, endemic na tayo, di ba? So glad to see all of you not wearing masks, di ba? And I'm happy to see that our primary purpose to see to it that this season has 3 conferences, and that we will have a strong and a season that will bring back everybody to where it was during the normal times. There are other challenges, di ba? So but a little bit more long term ang pinag-uusapan natin. There are other, and the board has looked at it. One is again revisiting having our own office, because we're now leasing. We're leasing at 500,000 a month. Baka naman pwedeng magkaroon tayo ng lease. You lease, but you get to own the office as well. So that's being looked at. As I mentioned, meron din yung 3-on-3, because we want to be. It's another source of, as Vice said, it is another source of revenue. if we do 3-on-3 and we're able to do this nationwide, it's very important. Number 3, World Cup 23 will be in our shores in what, 15 months, 16 months. And they will play in the Philippines, and we will have a team in the Philippines. Di ba? And that is also very important to us, not only because we're PBA, but we're also we love basketball, and basketball is the pride of of each and every one of us in this room, and many others in the country. Di ba? That's our pride. So we'd like to be able to offer our help once again, and be a little bit more flexible in terms of doing that. Kasi minsan lang tayo magkaroon ng World Cup dito, no? So that is also a very important part for the next season. For the next season, no? Because this season is preparation for the World Cup. Yun. And we'd like to build a community of basketball, because we will not succeed if we are not a community of basketball, especially when the world is already poaching on us. No? And the commissioner started reaching out to UAAP, and we are reaching out to SBP that has a community of members, including the UAAP and other members in its association. So we'd like to be able to strengthen and build that community so that we can be better, not only internationally, but also as a community that's committed to the national team. So marami, di ba? But some of them are long-term. Some, the more immediate is this year. Let's just support the 3 conference, and hopefully we succeed. And we have a new member, Converge, who's here, and they built a pretty strong team. They will be contenders, and we've gone to EASL. You know that the PBA will be joining EASL. That's a commitment made, no? And we are another long-term one is to a long-term program, and we've been talking about this, the board, and they've approved that we should look into building from 12 to 14, not to 13. Maski may 13 ka na, but from 12 to 14. So that will take a longer time, teams. Yun. So, kaya ba namin to lahat? Siguro naman, kaya. Di ba? So,
Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Chairman. Sisigil lang ako, Dave, kung po pwede. I'd like to address this question to Attorney Zorilla. Given the pandemic and the financial losses that were absorbed by the PBA, what is the state of the PBA's financial health at this point entering the new season?
Well, despite all the, the effect of the pandemic, diba? But in spite of which, given the collective efforts as well as, should I say, matulong rin ng not just the PBA but also at the instance of the Board of Governors, we are healthy. We are in a healthy financial position. That's why sabi nga ni Chairman, we are in a robust what do you call this? We want to maintain the tradition. Yan yung gusto marinig ni Commissioner Willie, yung tradition eh. We will be implementing the traditional 3 conferences because of we see our financial position to be in the blue, and we are healthy. So I think we will be able to pursue all these projects given our financial state as of now. Tradition yan.
Vice Chairman?
Yeah, to recall the statement before of Chairman Ricky, during the pandemic, the 2-year pandemic, the PBA lost almost 200 million in income. But the 4th, 6th season, we were able to recover at least 100 million of what we lost during these 2 years. No? Now, we're looking forward to better results, definitely, in the 47th season. And if we will be able to hold the 3 conferences, and we succeed in holding the 3 conferences, we should be able to recoup whatever we lost in the 2 years of pandemic. we're looking at revenues of, around 500 million, and hopefully we'll generate the income of more, around 150 million, if we are successful in holding 3 conferences. That's how the financial health of the PBA is concerned. So we're in good health, and thanks to everybody, and with your support also, we're in a better condition right now.
Thank you, Vice Chairman. Thank you, Attorney Zorilla. Looking good, the future of the PBA entering the 47th season. More questions?
Hi, yes, following up lang po on what Chairman Ricky already said about the World Cup, has the PBA board decided on concrete steps that will be taken in order to help the preparation of the national team?
Regarding sa Gilas, SBP, nandun pa rin ang commitment ng PBA to help Gilas kung anong kailan. Katulad na sinasabi namin in behalf of the board at sa mga team owners, kung anong kailangan ng Gilas, ibibigay pa rin ng PBA. Thank you.
If I may add, it's not a role to look at the program of SBP for the national team. But we are a member of the community, as I said, that is offering whether we can help in any way, especially next season, which is World Cup 2023.
Goval, may microphone, please.
No, because keep on asking about players. If we're gonna lend players, a lot of what happened to SEA Games and everything. Since a couple of years ago, 5 years na sa amin si Chairman, in-agree namin yan lahat. Kahit ball boy, pwede nila kunin. Walang problema. Sila mamimili. Kami, all the teams from team 1 to team 12, kung sinong gusto nila doon, walang hahadlang, kahit sinong gusto nilang hiramin. Kahit coach namin, hiramin nila, pwede. Basta lang, yung schedule, sasabihin nila kay commissioner. Yun lang, tapos okay na. So, pag siya sabi, hindi nagpahiram, hindi ganito, wala pong katotohanan yan, matagal na namin pinag-agrihan yan.
Hello, good afternoon. Or siguro kay Chairman. Yung 4 na rookies na pinili for Gilas, sila Sean Ildefonso, sila Gian Mamuyak. May competition ng Gilas for the FIBA Asia Cup and yung qualifiers for the World Cup. I-pull out na po ba sila agad from the respective teams?
Hindi pa. As of now, wala pang sinasabi ang Gilas sa amin kung kailan gagamitin, kung kailan magpa-practice. Hanggang wala, nasa team. Pag sinabi sa amin ng Gilas kung sino mga players, saka namin pull out yun dun sa 4 na draftees for Gilas. Pero as of now, maglalaro sila sa mother team.
Okay, thank you. And second, sige sir.
Pwedeng sagutin ko kasi may usapan kami, yung mga iba, they're thinking na yung mga na-draft, like for example, yung ibang teams na kasama ko rito, may na-draft sila, tapos hindi na naman uli makakalaro kasi gagamitin sa ensayo o sa window. No, may usapan na kami ng SBP that all the players that we drafted na makukuha ng Gilas ay makakalaro sa mother team nila.
Okay, thank you, Gobal. And it's been a long while since nagkaroon tayo ng double header sa opening ng season, no? Can you elaborate on your decision to have it a double header again?
Malaking tulong ang TV5. Dati, ang binibigay na oras nila 2 to 8. So talagang 2 hours yung opening, tapos yung game. Ngayon, binigay sa atin as 2 o'clock. Gagamitin na hanggang matapos. Kaya doon tayo nagkaroon ng double header. Kung hindi binigay ng TV5 yon, kausap ko si Ma'am Shena, ganun pa rin tayo. Opening, 1 game. Pero ngayon, 2 o'clock binigay na, 4 o'clock first game, 6:30 second game, dire-diretso na, PBA yon sa Sunday. Kaya nagpapasalamat kami sa TV5.
One last question kay former Commissioner Chito Salud. Sir, your thoughts lang about
Microphone, please, para kay Attorney
playing
Chito.
for the first time sa PBA and during the opener itself pa.
Our entire organization, from
ownership down to the men and women of Converge, is so excited to be part of the PBA. No? That's number one, the warm welcome extended to it by the leadership of the PBA. We believe that the PBA over the years has remained unmatched and unparalleled in terms of marketing value. And now that we're striving for normalcy, Converge will be an active and a strong member in that quest for normalcy. In fact, I think we took the first step in making sure that the PBA will be back to normalcy by acquiring the franchise of a long-standing member, Alaska. No? We're very excited. We will be a young and athletic team. Our management realizes that it will not be happening fast, that will be contending for playoffs and the finals, but we aim to be competitive. We want to bring exciting basketball to the fans, and we want to show the fans that we have a strategy that we will execute over the years. So I thank the PBA leadership for giving us the opportunity to showcase this vision on the very first day of the 47th season. So mabuhay ang PBA. Maraming salamat po.
Follow up na rin, speaking of yung Alaska players, I believe 3 more former aces have not been signed by Converge.
As in any other team situation, those who have not yet signed will not be part of the roster. We're still negotiating. And as soon as those agreements are secured, we will file our UPC with the PBA. It's as simple as that. No? There's no other way around it. Some are still abroad, some are here, but at the end of the day, it will be the terms of the agreement that will count.
Another question, please.
With regards to the Commissioner's Cup at Governor's Cup, same lang ba din? Same yung sa height and yung format, may changes ba?
Yung second conference, 6'10" below. Yung third conference, 6'6" below. Ganun pa rin ang format. Ang lang natin sa second conference, nandun yung Hong Kong Dragons na magiging 13 teams na pwede din sila mag-champion. 6'10" below.
In relation din sa...
yung isa third, below 6'6". Third conference.
Okay. And yung in relation to the World Cup, kasi di ba August yun next year, so hindi naman siya tatama dun sa season, and mabibigyan ng ample time yung national team to prepare for the World Cup.
Yun ang plano ng board. So pag-uusapan pa din namin, pero kailangan bigyan talaga ng magandang preparasyon for the 2023. Pag-uusapan ulit ng board yan, pero doon na direction ng board. Mga 2 to 3 months ang preparasyon. So tingnan natin. Nandun na direction na nga eh.
So possible na yung PBA malilate ng open, kumbaga after na dahil nga 2 to 3 months yung plano yung preparation.
Pwedeng walang PBA, pwedeng malate, pwedeng naglalaro. Depende pa rin. Hindi pa din namin alam kung ano talagang composition ng teams. So, pero katulad na sinabi namin, kung ano matutulong namin sa SBP, gagawin namin.
Thank you po.
Another one, please.
Willie, follow up lang po ako dun sa Commissioner's Cup, yung schedule. Di ba, you're gonna para push it back to accommodate Asian Games sana. Pero with the Asian Games postponed to next year, may definite date na po ba tayo for the Commissioner's Cup?
Binigay namin sa press kit nyo. September 2 matatapos ang first conference. Maglalaro tayo by September 21, sabi ni DepCom. By September 21, hindi katulad doon, September 2, magsisimula na kami October 2. Ngayon, parang naipod ng mga 9 days.
Thank you, Kom.